Some people may wonder how a frog developed from a tadpole. There is a process just like any living creature. When a female and male frog hug, known as implexus, a female will lay a bunch of eggs so the male can fertilize the eggs. This is known as spawning, which is the beginning of the frog lifestyle. When done spawning, the frogs will then leave. Depending on the species, the female may stay to care for the eggs. Females lay multiple eggs because not all of the eggs will hatch. Eggs are fertilized on the outside of a female instead of the inside. Some may not fertilize, while others are eaten by small animals such as birds or anything else that can fly or move. Eggs can be laid in the water or in the trees. The eggs that survived will hatch within 7 to 9 days, then begin the tadpole lifestyle. Before a frog develops, they are known as a tadpole, little fish-like creatures. In the first 7 days or so of a tadpole's development, a tadpole will eat the egg yolk that is still left in its guts. The only parts to the baby tadpoles are the gills, the tail, and the mouth. After about 7 days of the tadpole development, the tadpole will begin to swim around on its own and eat algae from the top of the water. About 4 weeks in the tadpole's life cycle, it will begin to grow teeth and skin over the gills and will begin to become more active in swimming like schools of fish. Between 6 to 9 weeks, the tadpoles begin to grow longer and develop a little bit of a head and some legs. At the end of 9 weeks, a tadpole will start to look more like a frog with a long tail. Instead of eating algae, they begin to eat tiny insects. Depending on the climate, this also affects how long a cycle will grow. Sometimes it can take all winter long to complete a cycle. From 9 to 12 weeks, the frog metamorphosis begins. A frog leg is a tadpole that looks like an itty-bitty frog, but with a long tail. The frog will begin to lose most of its tail, grow a frog tongue, and start to really look like a baby frog. The whole life cycle is completed within 16 weeks when the frog becomes an adult. As you're drawing a diagram, start with the eggs with an arrow pointed towards the baby tadpole. Next step is to draw a tadpole with legs known as the froglet. Then draw an arrow pointed to a full-grown frog. Last is another arrow back towards the eggs to start the cycle over once the frog finds a mate. Now let's talk about some fun facts. Some fun facts about frogs are: frogs are known as amphibians because they can live in and out of the water. Unlike frogs, tadpoles can only breathe and absorb oxygen in the water. Frogs can live for between 4 to 15 years, but because it's hard to track a frog, there is not an exact lifespan. The longest lifespan to be recorded is a green and black poison dart frog, ranging between 7 and 17 years. Every week the frog sheds its skin. It usually pulls the skin off and eats it. Most frogs do have teeth, although usually on the upper jaw. The teeth are used to help hold their prey in place till it can swallow. This is the whole complete life cycle of a frog. I hope you guys enjoyed my video on frogs.